So Raj says, I'll get personal here. I've been going to A's games for 40 years. It's gut-wrenching to see what looks like is going to happen. What's your message to A's fans? Mr. Fisher replies, my message to fans is, hey, we did an awful lot of great things for this team. Over the last 20 years or 18 years, we've been involved with the team. The A's made it to the playoffs 6 years. We've had some great players along the way. We made changes at the Coliseum. We did an awful lot to really reach out and be a good steward of the franchise for fans. And I'm sorry that it hasn't worked out. There's another paragraph which we'll get to in just a second. But just going back to this, well, the A's actually made the playoffs 7 years. Might have forgotten the 2006 season. Had some great players along the way. I agree. But that's not what's in question here. The inability to keep those players that other teams highly covet, the players that would make your franchise sustainable and successful for the long term, and we wouldn't even be in this conversation right now. Had great players and not being able to keep great players is a difficult part of this. Made changes at the Coliseum. Well, I'll hand it to him on this. This current A's ownership was given a very difficult task. The Coliseum got out of date in the 80s and 90s. No improvements. It went more to multi-purpose than to baseball. So they were behind the curve entirely. And yes, there were some positive things done to the Coliseum, but elaborate on that. To what extent did you do every last thing possible? And the Coliseum is not really a factor as much as the team and the turnover and obviously the parallel paths and threat to Las Vegas. We did an awful lot to really reach out and be a good steward of the franchise for the fans. I would only ask in that sentence that you just expand a little bit. What do you mean? You should be able to go on and on about that. How, when, where, how many times, in what ways. Can you? And I'm sorry that it hasn't worked out. Well, the team would work out. It may be sorry that the Oakland and Howard Terminal part didn't work out. He goes on, it's a difficult proposition to move a team, especially from an area where you grew up. But at the end of the day, I felt that Las Vegas offered the team and the A's the best chance for success, the best chance to build a new stadium, and to be able to kind of give Oakland, or give athletics fans wherever they may be, the opportunity to see great players and know they would be able to stay with the team over the long term. So clearly that retention aspect is being discussed here, right? There's an acknowledgement of the lack of retention of players. But let me just condense this sentence here where it says, Las Vegas offered the team and the A's the best chance for success to be able to kind of give Oakland, or give A's fans wherever they may be, the best opportunity to see great players. To give Oakland the chance to have a ballpark in Las Vegas to keep players? There's not a regional draw for this team. Oakland fans will not be following this team to Las Vegas, and you rip it out of the community where it's been for 50 plus years. I mean, and that's acknowledged in fairness. I don't think you're giving Oakland fans and A's fans, wherever they may be. This is self-admittedly, the A's fan base is great here locally. And I don't even think you've seen the tip of the iceberg of it in recent years. Longtime A's fans know that. You know that it's kind of like a sleeper community and has been for the last decade or so. I don't know that A's fans exist in mass across the country or to the quote here, wherever they may be. So that's how I see this interesting. This was a most interesting section of the Q&A.